let's jump right in. So on Thursday we did, oh, I forgot about this. Gosh, I always forget. Does anyone have any questions from their exam that they would like us to go through together? Like a nice question that they had in their paper that they didn't know how to do, or it looked a little bit tricky, or they don't understand the answer that their teacher gave them. If you do, this is your moment to shine. You can go and find your paper and tell us your question, and we can go through it.
Yep, you can raise your hand up. And Muhau, big up to you. Welcome, welcome, our new person.
Amber, hello. Do you have a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm ready.
Okay, this was 2b divided by b3 minus 7b. No, sorry, it's b cubed minus 7b squared.
B cubed minus 7b squared.
Wait, divided by.
Oh, again.
No, like that whole answer divided by 4b.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. 4b.
Yeah.
Divided by b squared minus 49.
Okay.
Yes.
Is that the whole question?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. This is a cool question. I like this one. So this one is all in this question. The thing that is our friend is a factorization. That is what our friend is in this type of question. Okay. The first thing we're going to do though is we've got fractions and we've got a divide sign. So when we have fractions and we have a divide sign, what three letters do we think of? When we've got fractions and a divide, what do we think of? Who can tell me? Oh, yeah, tip and times. Okay, so we can do tip and times. We can do KFC. They mean the same thing. So KFC is saying keep the first fraction, flip the second fraction, and change the sign. Okay, but it's the same as doing tip and times. It's totally fine. All right, so let's first do that. Let's make that our first step. So we're going to say 2b over b cubed minus 7b squared times b squared minus 49 all over 4b. Okay, so we've done our tip and times, or our KFC. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to factorize. So if we just have a look at this down here, who can tell me how I would factorize that? How would I factorize that? What could I do? Great, we're going to take out our highest common factor. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to take out our highest common factor. So at the top, I'm going to have 2b. And down here, I'm going to take out b squared, and I'm going to be left with b minus 7. Okay, so we took out our highest common factor. We're going to say times. How would I factorize this? Dots. Excellent. Okay, so that's going to be b plus 7, b minus 7. So that's dots that I'm doing up there. And that's all over 4b. Now that we have factorized everything, everything is one term, which means we are allowed to cross cancel, okay? And so I can say that this b minus 7, I'm going to use a highlighter so that you can still see what's underneath it. This b minus 7 can cancel with that b minus 7, all right? Then I've got a b over here, which can cancel with that b over there. I've got a 2, which can go into 4 twice. And so then what I'm left with is b plus 7 over b squared b minus 7. And we can't forget about this 2 over here, so we're going to put a 2 over there. And that's where we have to leave it. There's nothing more we can do. There's nothing more we can simplify. It doesn't give us a super satisfying, nice answer, but as a whole, that's what that type of question looks like. So when you do questions like this, okay, Amber, when you do questions like this, you will get certain marks along the way. So you'll get a mark for making that a multiplication and for flipping this fraction. You'll get a mark for doing the highest common factor and a mark for doing the difference of 2 squares. And so if you mess up your answer, you're only going to lose 1 mark in the big scheme of things, which isn't so bad. Thanks for the question, Amber. So guys, remember on Thursday, if you have a question that you want me to go through, bring it in and we can chat about it. Oh, okay. Thought I had a naughty in it. She disappeared. Okay, so let's jump into some exponential work today before we go back into our new topic. So all of this is stuff that we spoke about last week, Tuesday, and last week, Thursday. I would love it if you could please try this question for me. You can give me your answers in the chat, and then we're going to go through this one together. So as soon as you have an answer, chuck it in the chat. Don't overthink it too much. Don't overthink it.
Let's ask our brain nicely to remember what we did last week.
I know, it's tough.
Ask your brain, ask your brain. I see you, Nandi Gubega. You're thinking really hard.
Oh, Mahal's got the answer. That's great. Chuck it in the chat.
Ooh, our new learner, guys.
Chuck it in the chat. Let's see how it goes. If it's right, if it's right, if it's wrong, it's wrong. It's okay. Neither matter. Oh, Mojave got their hand up. Let's have a look. Mojave, do you have the answer for me? Or do you have a question?
I have the answer.
Okay, great. Talk me through what to do.
So, ma'am, what I basically did was I separated the brackets, and I went to the bracket with the power to the 0 and changed it to 1.
Beautiful. Okay, so that whole thing becomes 1. So we could write it as times 1, but anything times 1 is itself. So we can actually just kind of ignore it. Great.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, next.
Then I went to the other 2 brackets and I said 3, and I distributed it to 4, which is 3 times 4, which is 12.
Good. So negative and a negative is a positive. So that gives us positive 12.
Yes, ma'am. And then the x for the minus 3 has a small 1 there. So I put that 1 plus the other x one for the minus 4, which
Good.
is 12 to the power 4.
Beautiful.
12x to the power 4,
100%. Nice
Well
work.
done, Moabi.
Excellent.
Well done.
Great.
Wow.
Perfect. Okay, so I feel like you're remembering some stuff from last week. That means we can go into some harder questions. Nadia's, never mind. Okay, let's try another one. Let's see how the next one goes. I'm gonna just try and zoom so you can still see that one if you're needing it. B is on the board. Yeah, so Mohau, you won't be able to unmute your mic. If you are wanting to speak or ask a question, you need to put the hands up emoji so that we can then unmute you. It's just so that there doesn't end up being like background noise when people are working or asking questions. Okay, this one I need you to be super careful with this one, with your negative exponents. Okay, negative exponents. Let's see how this one goes. Marilla, hello.
Already has an answer for us.
Hello.
Do you have an answer for us?
Yes.
Okay, can you talk me through what to do?
So, 2 divided by -4 is -2.
Is it?
Oh, shucks.
Just think about it, careful. Don't worry, don't worry. Just think about how, if you had to simplify 2/4, what would that simplify down to?
Oh, wait, no, keep it, change it, flip it. We flip them around?
So don't flip, don't, just keep it as it is. If we had like just 2/4, so try and take your head all the way back to like grade 6 when you were dealing with fractions. If you were given this fraction and you were asked to simplify it, what would it simplify down to?
1/2?
Exactly. Exactly. Okay, so this part over here, this 2 over this negative 4, that's going to simplify down to negative 1 over 2.
Oh, okay.
Beautiful. Okay, tell me what you think we can do for the next part.
And then when in exponents you're dividing, you minus them, but since they're both negative, you plus them, like negative, negative to positive.
Okay, so you can definitely do that. You could say a to the negative 2 minus negative 1. You could definitely do that. Another thing we could do is we could flip those. So because they're both negative, when we're wanting to show them as a positive, what you did is totally fine. We can flip them. So we could put a to the 1 at the top and then a to the 2 at the bottom, if that makes sense. Okay.
Yes.
And then if we're here, what would our final answer then start looking like?
2a2.
Okay, so let's sort of write
I
this
mean,
out.
1.
Let's write this out like this. Okay, so I'm just writing it out the slightly longer way like that.
Okay.
So this A is going to
Negative
cancel.
2a1. Okay.
Careful. So like your negative 2 is great, it's just it has to stay at the bottom. So this A is going to cancel out with that A, and I'm still left with a fraction. So I have to keep it as a fraction. So I have to keep that negative 1 at the top, and then I'm going to have the 2A at the bottom.
Okay.
Makes sense?
Yes.
Great. Good.
Well done, girl. Well
Nice.
done.
Guys, you learn through making mistakes. So I never mind if you make mistakes. It's okay. Mistakes are 100%. You learn more from mistakes than you learn from not making mistakes.
Okay, someone wants to see the question A. Is that possible for us to just see a little
Yeah,
bit? So it's
sure.
short?
Quickly pop up there.
Okay, guys. That's it.
So Amber, the one, it's not necessarily the one that's negative. You could put that negative anywhere. I could also have written that as 1 over negative 2, and you could also write that as negative, like in the front, 1 over 2. It's just saying this fraction is negative. So it doesn't matter where you put the negative sign. Okay, no problem. That's okay. Sure, I'll pop up quickly. You can take a screenshot. Sorry, guys. I didn't break up with my mug. I still have my mug. Still here. Okay, next one. For this one, you don't have to do it the way that I'm going to suggest, but some people might find it easier. Oh, no, wait, hold on. I think we did this one together on Thursday because I remember us having that multiplication. Ignore that question. I would like you to do this question. Much easier than the last one. So Mahal, do you have an answer for us? Do you have a question?
Yes, ma'am, I have the answer.
Okay, talk me through what to do here.
Ma'am, we first have to use the laws of exponents to start with the basis first, which is negative 15 divided by 5, which makes it 3.
Okay, so
And
I really
then-
like that start. But what I would first do before even thinking about our exponent laws is whenever we're dealing with exponents and we have a divide, if we first take a step to write it as a fraction, so if we take it to write it like this, it's going to make sure that where we write things where they should be in a numerator or where they should be a denominator.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, cool. Okay, take it
So
from
the answer will be negative 3, ma'am, because 15 divided by 5 is negative 3.
Good.
And then we're going to use the laws of exponents to say m4 minus 8, ma'am.
Okay.
And then that will be m to the power of negative 4.
Okay.
Then we're going to take the n, we're going to say n to the power of 2 minus 2, which is 0. So we don't put an n there. So our answer will therefore be negative 3m to the power of negative 4.
I like it, but now you're not allowed to give your answers with negative exponents. So how are you going to answer this when it has a positive exponent?
Oh, I'm bad at this. Oh my
So
gosh.
everything you've done up to this point is right.
Oh,
This is all right up to here.
well done. You did well.
I think is it 1 to the power -3 and to the power of 4 something?
Okay, so I'm going to see if this might help you. I'm just going to write out these m's the long way. Okay, so I've got 4 m's at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I've got 8 m's at the bottom. Okay, those 4 m's are going to cancel with those 4 m's. Where are those m's left?
There are 4 m's left, ma'am.
Where? At the top or at the bottom?
At the bottom.
Yeah. So if we have a negative exponent, it means we're going to pop it down. If it's a numerator, we're going to make it a denominator. And if it's a denominator, we're going to make it a numerator.
Woo,
All right.
well done. Wow.
Okay. Nice. You did
Thank
great
you.
though. That was good. Awesome. If you did it the long way, guys, so if you wrote it out like I've done over here, that's perfect. Long way never hurt anyone. Long way is always always our friend.
It works.
Okay.
Works, guys.
Always works. If you need a screenshot, take a screenshot, and then we're going to move on to our next question. The only time I don't recommend you do the long way is when we have like m to the power of 96. Then maybe don't do it the long way. Okay. Which one do I want to give you guys? Let's do one more and let's make this one because this is nice and easy. Oh, I'm missing a variable. My variable went hiding. There we go. Okay, one last one for tonight. Oh, sorry,
What?
Moabi, do you have a question?
Already has an
Ma'am, I
answer.
was asking if you can scroll up so I can take a picture.
Sure, I'll scroll up quickly. Okay, so the long way is just meaning like writing it like this, basically. So if we have 4 m's, we're writing 4 m's and 8 m's at the bottom, and then we just kind of cancel as we need. That's what it means by writing it the long way. So like if I had x squared over x to the power of 4, if I wrote that the long way, I'd write 2x's at the top, and I'd write 4x's at the bottom. And then I would look at how to cancel. That would cancel with that. That would cancel with that. So then I'd be left with 1 over x squared. Okay. All right, cool. All right, last one on the exponent work, and then we will move on for today. Unati, if your hand is up to answer, that's great. You can definitely answer this one. I just want to give everyone a chance to get there. So I'm just going to give everyone a couple of minutes and then I'll call on you. Sure. Well, how can I help?
Ma'am, I just want to clarify 8 over 9. Should it stay the same, ma'am, because there's no... And also the 16 over 3, ma'am. Should I turn it into a mixed fraction? Because when I turn it into a mixed fraction, it says 5 over 5, 1 over 5. So I don't know.
Yeah, keep it as an improper. So just keep them as 8 over 9 and 16 over 3.
So what happens if I turn it into a mixed fraction, ma'am?
It's going to make your life a little bit more difficult when you start trying to simplify.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
No problem. Generally, general rule of high school maths is the only time you go into a mixed number when it comes to fractions is if you're dealing with a word sum. Otherwise, always stick to improper.
No problem, ma'am. No problem.
Think about, guys, I'm going to give you some hints here. Think about what that divide sign means for us. Think about what that divide sign means for us. Think about what those two mean for us. Start there.
Oh, my spare network, guys, is giving me flames. Out of nowhere.
You will all be 100% fine. I'm going to give you guys, it's okay if you're feeling confused. It's all right. It's okay. This question is tough. It's a hard question. It's a very hard question.
Keep trying, guys. Keep doing it. Alvarez with an answer.
I'm going to give you guys 1 more minute and then I will ask.
Jordan also with an answer. Oh, you guys are awesome.
See how we go.
Keep them coming so you can mark. Tando. Supposed to give it a try, girl.
You'll learn more for trying.
Exactly.
Okay, Unati, we are all yours. Talk us through.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
Hi, ma'am. I hope you can hear me because I'm a
Yeah.
little bit sick.
No, I can hear you perfectly.
Okay. Unansi one.
Okay, ma'am. So, ma'am, I'm not really confident about my answer.
Okay.
Okay,
What was your
but,
first step?
Tipping times.
Great. Okay,
Woo.
good.
Let's see.
That's a great first step. That's already 1 mark. Okay. So we're going to do our tipping times and everything is going to stay the same except that we are flipping that fraction. Okay, good. So our first step was tipping times or KFC, however you want to remember it. That's 1 mark. So if you did that, you've got 1 mark. Okay, cool. Next step.
Okay, ma'am. Here I got a little bit confused.
Okay.
Okay. So, what I did, I'm not sure if it's correct, but it's, ma'am. Yeah, ma'am, I'm not so confident. Like,
Okay.
wait, before, ma'am, do I cancel out already or what? Like the 8 and the
So what I would recommend you do at this point is start dealing with your things that are the same. So look at your M's and look at your N's.
okay, ma'am. So since it's gonna be since the M at the bottom is more than the M at the top, so you're gonna bring the M squared. Okay, ma'am, wait. So is it gonna be 8M? Ma'am,
I
can
think-
someone else?
Yeah, that's
Can
okay,
someone
Onati. Don't
else
panic. I'll
answer?
take it from here. It's a hard question. It's a very tough question. Okay, so what is KFC? KFC stands for keep, flip, change. So it's just something that we do when we are dealing with fractions and we've got a divide sign that's involved. Okay, that's all it is. Keep, flip, change. It's just a easy way to remember that what we do when we're dividing fractions. Okay, think of it as tip and tumble. It's great in Tando. Tip and times, all the same. When we get to this point here, there are lots of different things we could do. But I think what most people will find the easiest is to work with our law 2, which is our division. Okay, so I'm going to keep my number as 8/9 over there. And I'm just going to look at my M's. Okay, and I'm going to write this out the long way so that everyone can see what I'm doing. What I'm doing is I'm saying 2 minus, because it's a division, -3. And I'm minusing a -3 because that's a -3. Okay. Then I'm looking at my N's. That would be a 1. So I would have 1 minus 2 times 3/16. And guys, I am doing this the long way. There are much quicker ways to do this. I just am writing it all out so that everyone can see what's going on. Okay. For my M's, I'm going to say M to the power of 4 minus 3. Then I'm looking at my N's. I've got N to the power of 1 minus -1. Okay. Let's look at what this means. When I have a negative and a negative that are written together like that and like that, what does that become? What do two negatives next to each other become? Come on, there we go. Okay, when I have two negatives next to each other, they become a plus. So that lands up becoming +3, and that lands up becoming +1. They become a positive. Okay, so what I land up with is 8/9, 2 plus 3, which is 5. And this one is n to the -2. Now, oh, sorry, that should be 1 minus 2. So that's going to become n to the -1, because 1 minus 2 is -1, times 3/16. 4 minus 3 is 1, and 1 plus 1 is 2. So then we get to this point over here. Okay, I know it's tough. It's a lot. It's a lot. Now, we're going to look at this guy. N to the power of -1. How do I make that n to the -1 positive? How do I make that n to the -1 positive? What do I have to do to that n? I got to flip it. Good, I got to move it down. Okay, so if I want to make that n to the -1 positive, I need to move it down here so that it can become positive. Cool. Awesome. Now let's simplify our numerators and simplify our denominators. What I think would be the easiest thing here is to do some cross simplification. So we've got 8 goes into itself once and goes into 16 2 times. 3 goes into itself once and into 9 3 times. So we're left with 1m to the 5 over 3n. And then on the right hand side, we've got mn squared over 2. Okay, so let's simplify that. We've got m to the power of 5 times m times n squared. That's going to give us m to the power of 6 n squared all over 16. Can I simplify it further? Is there something more I can do? Yeah, your brain should be getting fried. This is a really tough question. It's very normal to have a fried brain at this point. There's one more thing that I can do at this point. Yeah, I can simplify further. And the reason I can simplify further is I've got 2 n's up there and I've got 1 n down here. So my final answer is going to be m to the power of 6n all over 6. That is our whole long sum. Load shedding is way scarier than this.
Ah, Buhabi.
So when you get to this point over here, you could also do it a slightly different way. So it just depends on like what you find easier and the way your brain works. But if I was looking at this step here, so I'm just going to rewrite this one here where we had our tip and times. Okay, so that was after we did our tip and times, right? Another thing that we could do in this situation is instead of doing the minus minus, we can just move negative exponents. So that one is a negative and that's a negative. And if it's a negative, we move it to where it should be. So we move it up, okay? So we're going to have 8m squared n, and then we're moving this up to the top to make it positive over 9n squared. Okay, we're going to keep our 3 over 16, keep our m to the 4, our n, keep our m cubed at the bottom, and we're going to move that n to the 1 up. Okay, just a different way of looking at this. And then when you get to this point here, if like cross simplification is not your thing, then deal with it one thing at a time. So just look at your numbers to start, for example. So if we're just trying to simplify our numerator over here, okay, we've got 8 times 3, that's going to give us 24. Then look at your m's. I've got 2 m's plus another 3, so now I have 5 plus another 4, so now I have 9. Okay. Then we look at our n's. We've got 1 n, 2 n's, 3 n's. Over. Look at your bottom. 9 times 16, that's going to give me 144. I've got 3 m's and then I've got 2 n's. And then if I simplify from there, I've got 24 over 144, which gives me my 1 over 6. If I look at my m's, 9 minus 3 gives me 6. And if I look at my n's, I land up with 1 n. So just a different way of doing it, but you get the same answer. So it just depends on the way that your brain thinks. Okay. Okay, if you would like a screenshot, this is your time. Then we're going to move on to our brain break. That's great. Exactly. Use whichever method makes more sense to you. So take a screenshot if you would need one. And we will...
Alvarez,
take a screenshot then.
take a screenshot.
Okay. Let's go on to our brain break for today. All right. I think let's see how this goes. A little brain break, man. Okay, so it's the same idea as what we did on Thursday. You have to tell me the word. So you have to solve the maths riddles to get numbers. And then when you have those numbers, you have to figure out the order of those numbers. Then you're going to have to figure out your word. But I've made it a little bit easier. You'll see why. So I've made some things a little bit easier and some things a little bit tougher. Okay. I would like to know what the word is that I'm looking for.
How you'll definitely enjoy this one. It's different from every other riddles. Just give it a try.
Please expand. I can't make it any bigger. If I make it any bigger, then you won't see anything.
Yes, sir. Is that an answer for us already?
Yusuf, is this an answer?
No, ma'am. They're basically saying zoom out.
Okay, thank you. I don't need to give you guys a hint. You just need to solve the maths problems and then you've got your answer.
Let's
Bobby,
go,
that's
guys.
not a
We can do
word.
this.
What is the word that I'm looking for? Yusuf, yes.
Ma'am, we still can't see, ma'am. Please,
What
can you
can't you
please
see?
zoom out? Like, I can't see the start of the question. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
continue, ma'am.
If I scroll down too much more, it's gonna be so small on people's
Yeah,
screens.
and I can see everything. Can you see
Oh,
now?
sorry,
Yes, sir?
ma'am. Okay, now I can see. Thank you, ma'am.
Sure.
Okay.
Has no one got my word for me yet?
Oh, Mudau maybe has it.
Oh, okay. Mudau, do you have my word? No hints, guys. You don't need any hints.
As you can do this. Just do it the proper way.
Just do it step by step, guys. It's not that
Yeah.
bad. Kansani's on a good track there. She's already figured out something.
Mudawisha, you can give me the answer that you got. It's fine. You can privately send me an answer.
You can also put your answer in the chat. It's totally fine.
Yeah.
No, don't go the shortcuts way, Alvarez. I promise it'll be quicker for you to just work it out. What is going on here, guys? Work out this first. And then work out this. And then you can work out this.
I don't understand what Muhabi is saying.
Okay, guys, you're making this so much harder than it needs to be. For example,
Yeah.
what is my octopus? What is the value of this block over here? Yeah, okay, exactly. So if you know how to work out that, you're fine. that means you can work out this fish. And if you have the fish, you have got the first letter. Ah, Kitleho, yes.
Oh,
Nice.
wow. Well done, Kateho.
Excellent. Yes, it was absolutely any one was what we were looking for over here.
Well done. You see, she did it perfectly.
You guys are just being lazy.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so if this one was 13, you see you were trying to get to 42 over here. So you would say 42 minus 13 minus 10, and that gives you 19. And if you know that that's 19, then you know that that's A. And then you can work out the next ones. Like you can work out this line, and you can work out this line. You get all of your different animals, and you get your numbers. Okay, let's move on to our second part of the lesson, and we will go from there. Okay.
Okay, let's do this, guys. Well done,
Okay.
though. Well done.
So we did quite a bit of products early in the year, so I'm hoping that some of this is just sort of feeling like a bit of a recap, and it's going to be using some of the knowledge that we've just been doing in the exponent work. So try and think of it like that. But we're going to sort of start all of these questions in the same way, and it's a question that you know I ask all the time and you get very sick of. But how many terms does this expression have? How many terms does this expression have? Three. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, when we're trying to work out our terms, the reason that this step is important is it because it tells us what's going to multiply into what, okay? So things that break up terms are minuses and plus signs. They break our terms apart. The reason these ones aren't breaking up anything is because we've got the brackets that are binding them together. Okay, so binding, so bringing together of terms are brackets, a multiply sign, and a divide sign. And breaking apart terms is when we have a plus or a minus. Okay, when we have those terms, sorry, that looks like a time sign. When we have those terms, we know what to do. So our first step is identify your terms. Second step is to simplify each term. Okay, so in this first term, in order for me to simplify it, I'm going to have to do distribution. So I need to multiply that 7ab to my first term. So 7ab times b is going to give me 7ab squared. And then times my second term, 7 times -5 will give me -35ab. That's my first term simplified. Okay, second term is just -3ab. Done. Third term, I'm going to bring this ab into both terms. I'm going to get -3ab plus ab squared, simplified. Okay, once we've simplified everything, so we've simplified all of our terms, then we try and find our like terms. So we've got an ab squared and an ab squared, and we've got an ab, an ab, and an ab. Okay, so our 7ab squared plus ab squared, that's going to give us 8ab squared. Now let's look at our blues. -35 minus 3, that's going to give us -38. -38 minus another 3, that will give us -41 AB. And that would be our final answer. Okay, so the steps I want you to think of: identify terms, simplify each term, group like terms. 1, 2, 3. Okay, are you ready to try one by yourselves?
Oh, they sound like they're ready. Everyone was like, can I do it? Can I do it?
Yeah,
Let's
they're saying
throw
it's
the
easy.
questions
That's
to
great.
them. Yeah.
Good. That's what I like. Okay, all yours.
Let's do this. Woo!
Step 1, identify your terms. Step 2, simplify each term. Step 3, add or subtract like terms.
Guys, it's so spicy. Just It's like a barbecue sort of. I'm being silly.
You will be
Let's work.
fine. Can you see? I will scroll up once we finished with this question.
Mudao, is that an answer for us already? Y'all are fast. You're on fire.
Okay, Madao, you're going to talk us through? So you just need to click a button on your side that unmutes.
There we go.
There we go. Okay, talk us through. First of all, my first question is, how many terms does this have? Oh, sweetheart, I can't hear you. It might be your headphones.
Yeah, I also can't hear. Mudao, sorry. We can't
Yeah,
hear.
sorry, Madao, we can't hear you, so I'm going to move on to Mahal. Sorry about that, sweetheart. Okay, but the answers that are coming in are absolutely right. There are 2 terms in this. Okay, Mahal, take us through the next step. What are we going to do?
Okay, ma'am. Then, so the next step, we are going to distribute the 2 terms, ma'am. We're going to start with, yes, ma'am. And then the next
so
one.
what am I going to
Okay.
have?
So it's going to be equals to negative 3c to the power of 2
Good.
plus 12c, because negative
Good.
times makes a positive,
Well done.
Done.
plus 33. Minus
Oh,
30.
there we go.
Minus
Minus
33.
33. Okay, good, good, good. Okay, next.
Then we are going to say minus 4c to the power of 2.
Good.
And then we're going to say plus 28c.
Beautiful.
Well
Okay,
done, Mahal. Well done.
I'm just going to highlight our like terms here just so that it's easy for you guys to see on your sides. Oh, goodness. I need a different color going on. There we go. See. Okay, what's my final answer going to be?
Usually I would like to start with the ones without the powers, ma'am, if you can excuse me.
Okay.
So it's going to be, the answer will be 40c.
Okay.
Minus 1c to the power of 2. No,
Oh.
minus 7c to the power of 2.
Yeah.
Minus 33.
Nice job. Perfect. Perfect. Great. Awesome.
Well
Okay.
done,
Oh, I'm
Mahal.
hearing that this is too easy. Okay, that's fine. I hear you.
Ah,
I will
everyone's
make the next one harder.
complaining.
You left a negative outside the bracket, but you added at the end. I think I might have the same answer. Pause. I'm pausing. Don't you panic, Alvarez. Okay. When you take it into the bracket, you need to take whatever sign is with it. It's super important. So whatever sign is there, make sure you're distributing it into the bracket when you multiply.
Mark, guys, take a screenshot.
I'm just going to quickly zoom up for someone who wanted a screenshot of the previous question. So just, if you want one of this, take a screenshot. No, yours doesn't have to be in the same order as this at all. No SpongeBob with a top hat today. I have to wait till I'm fully healthy, guys. I'm not, my brain's not in SpongeBob land just yet. Okay, if you wanted to take a screenshot, here you go.
Moabi, we already know about you. You're that guy that gets 100% out of the tests. and
Yeah,
you
we
tell
know the
everyone, like,
lies.
we know, Moabi, we know.
Okay, let's try. I'm now worried this one's going to be too easy since you were saying those ones were too easy. Oh, here we got some. No. Oh.
Maybe this
Okay.
might be interesting.
This one
I'm
might be
interested in this
interesting.
one. Yeah.
Let's keep this one. Let's keep this one. Oh, okay. It's fine. If you find it too easy, we shall see. We shall see.
Let's do it. Come on, let's go. Your brain left the chat.
Let's see how you guys manage with this one.
You can do this, guys.
My advice, so that you don't all fall off the wagon, is start here. That's your
Let's go,
starting
guys. We
point.
can do it. We can do it. I can tell you what is Merula done already?
Sure, so quickly. So start with that blue section. I'm going to give you another minute or two. I would like everyone to give it a go. So when you have an answer, please, but it is tricky. Oh, I see that yawn, the sass pot. Can you, when you know the answers, can you put your answers in the chat for me so I can just see how many people are finished?
Yes, please, guys.
There are lots of types of brackets, guys. There are many brackets.
I can tell you what I'm going through right now. So I want to go to the loo, but I'm at Spur. So where do I put my stuff in order for me to go to the toilet?
Oh no, I don't know what you do in that situation. Can you make friends with the people who are sitting next to you?
I think that's what I'm gonna do. So you see, guys, I can solve this question, but I cannot solve my own problem. Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you guys one more minute on this, and then we'll try and talk through this one, and then maybe.
Put the answers on the chat, guys. Yes, Mohau.
Yeah, there we go. We've got a first answer coming in. Nice. Keep the answers coming.
Oh. Okay, Alvarez also with an answer. Okay.
You don't have a broken heart. You don't know if that's wrong.
Exactly.
So I do see the hands that are up here to answer, but I'm gonna take over this one just because it's a little bit different. We haven't seen one like this before, but the one that I'll give you after this is similar to this. So then you'll get good practice. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna start with this blue bracket. We're gonna start by distributing in this 2. So that's going to become 2a, and that's going to become 10. Okay, so I'm going to write my 2a square bracket 3 minus bracket 2a plus 10 minus 7. Okay, that was my first step. So if you got this 2a minus 10, give yourselves a mark. Sure, Unati, can I help you? What can I help with?
Ma'am, I wanted to ask, do you need to put the equal sign? Because I always forget.
I mean, it is better. I would say yes. I'm going to try and get you to try and get into the habit of writing it.
Ma'am, but in a test, I never write the equal sign, but the teacher never says anything about it.
You're not going to not get marks for not writing the equal sign, but it should be there because you're saying that this is equal to this, which is equal to this. And they will be strict about it by the time you get into matric. So try and get into a good habit of it as early as possible.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, so that was our first step. We just took in our 2. Next step is we are going to distribute in this negative sign. Okay, so now we're going to have 2a bracket 3 minus 2a minus 10 minus 7. So then you get a mark for getting that negative 2a and the negative 10. I'm now going to simplify inside that bracket a little bit. So I'm going to have 2a bracket, and I've got this 3 minus 7, which is going to give us negative 4. And then we've got, oh, sorry, guys, I'm leaving off a whole number and negative 10. Sure. Okay, so 3 minus 10 is negative 7 minus 7 is negative 14. And then we've got our minus 2a. Okay, so give yourself a mark for getting that negative 14 if you got there. And then our last step, all we have to do for our last step is we are going to bring in this 2a into both. So we're going to say 2a times negative 14, that's going to give us negative 28a, and we're going to have negative 4a squared. Who landed up, let's give this marks. So let's give this a mark to get an idea of where everyone is. Let's say 1 mark, 2 marks, 3 marks, 4 marks, 5 marks. How did we do out of 5? Oh, Marula, well done. Fatu, how can I help?
Ma'am, like, can I at least like get 1 mark for like doing the right method?
So what method did you do? What did you do?
That method, but like, ma'am, ish, like I wrote the 5 instead of 10. I wrote 5 instead of 10.
Oh, that's irritating. Yes, no, that's fine. I'll
Oh,
give you 2 out of 5.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you,
I'm being
ma'am.
very generous with my marks here. Nice job, guys.
Well
Okay,
done,
take a screenshot
guys.
if you need one.
Yeah, and,
And
do
then-
correction, please.
And then I'm going to move down to our last question of the night. Let's see if anyone can get this one 100% right. And I'm going to give you the answer to this one on Thursday. So I'm going to give you a little bit of time now. I'll give you until 5:02 until I have to disappear. But we'll go through this one's answer on Thursday. So I want everyone to write this in their books and I want everyone to give it a try.
Yes, good try.
And then dependent on how we do Thursday, we'll go through this. And remember, if you have tough questions from your exams that you don't understand, that you'd like us to go through, bring that as well. And we'll start our lesson with those.
Is it okay if I put the polls now, or I have to wait a little bit?
No, it should be fine if you put the poll.
Excuse me,
Yeah,
ma'am.
how can I help?
You see where the 7 is and the minus, ma'am.
Yeah.
So next to the minus, is there an invisible 1, ma'am? Because I want to
Yes.
try a distribution method.
That's
ma'am.
a negative. That would be a -1. So if you were distributing that in, then imagine it as a 1. That's great.
Oh, okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Guys, it's been lovely. I love you all. I will see you on Thursday. I hope you have a nice warm Tuesday and Wednesday, and I will see you then. Okay.
Bye-bye.